It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with a wonderful gentleman from sunny Southern California. He's got a band out there who's been doing some writing and recording for quite some time. Released their debut album, The Monster That Made the Man, in 2012, and the second album, Clues for a Dollar, was released in 2014. And of course, you know, these guys aren't cheap. I'm going to tell you that. They've toured a lot of venues, and they've been working on a lot of mixes, and basically just taking a run for the money, and I got to listen to them. They're fantastic. You can also, you know, just check them out online as well, too, and they encourage you to purchase music and please support. These are just great musicians. And live, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we have a guy that loves to fix all the problems in the world from sunny Southern California. Here is Dan Seitz from the group Revilution. Dan, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great. So you started as just writing and recording with your partner Marie B, which you released the first album, Monster That Made the Man, in 2012, and also you have a second album, Clues for a Buck, released in 2014. And of course, you guys been working on a lot. You're making a run at the music scene, and you toured local venues for about a year. And you've been in Las Vegas, L.A., San Diego, and areas as well, too. But, of course, you know, you guys always had a vision. Despite numerous turnarounds, you just kept things alive, got to listen to your music. And we encourage everybody that afterwards to go to their website. He'll tell you all about it. And first, before we get into the music, like The Monster That Made the Man and everything else, just tell us how you got started.
Well, I lived most of my life in small towns. I lived in Idaho, Colorado, Arizona, stuff like that. But I've always wanted to be a musician since I was a little kid. And I knew that living in Southern California was probably the best place to do that. I grew up on the 80s music and reading about the scene on the Sunset Strip and stuff like that, so I wanted to be a part of it. So I got a chance to do that finally in 2011. So I quit my job and loaded up my vehicle and moved on out here. And then a mutual friend of mine from back in Colorado introduced me to Marie B. And obviously trying to write and record is all great, but if you don't have the equipment, if you don't have the finances, you can't really get it done. So she offered to help. She bought me a multi-track recorder, and I started laying down tracks. Mm-hmm. So that's how it started.
That's amazing. What's one moment that influenced you into doing what you're doing today? The precise moment.
Oh, well, I'd have to say I was 7 years old. My dad had come to visit. Him and my mom were divorced at the time, and he had brought an 8-track tape of the Beach Boys' Endless Summer.
Wow.
It was my first experience with real rock and roll. We talked him, my sister and I talked him into leaving the tape with us for a year, and he pretty much wore it out just listening to it over and over, and he just kind of ballooned from there.
I remember the days of 8 tracks. My dad would have them in his camper, just keep going and going and going. And if you get tired of it, eventually wore itself out, and no problem. You just go to like any retail store, just pick it up for $1 or $2 and just let it run and run and run. I know about 8 tracks. I know what you mean. That's something, too. And, of course, you talked about some of the 80s influences as well, too. Want to experience the Sunset Strip. Who are some of your favorite artists and singers growing up back in the day?
Oh, some of my favorites. Well, I like Kiss. I like their earlier stuff the best, probably because of just the flat out rock and roll attitude, sex and rock and roll, and just don't really give a crap, just get out there and just do it, write and play with wild abandon. Paul Stanley's one of my favorite vocalists, so Kiss was a big one. Also, AC/DC, the twin guitar attack of Malcolm and Angus Young, that was always something that just drove right into my soul, And, then there was a lot of others, Deep Purple, Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath in particular. Black Sabbath was probably the first metal I learned how to play on guitar. So that really kind of, propelled me forward into the style of music that I like to play now, just straight ahead, power chords, and I like to do really deep lyrical writing too, like Geezer Butler. So Black Sabbath was a big, heavy influence on me. So, bands like that. And of course, you go into the other stuff like Wasp, and Alda Nova was one. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I could go on for days on this.
and of course, fixing things and everything else. Being in Southern California, growing up with that stuff, it's like we can go days and days with that stuff and never got tired too. So, all right, we'll talk about some of your works as well too in a minute. You're listening to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Dan Seitz from Revilution, a brand new band out of Southern California. They've been making the stops in Las Vegas, Los Angeles, San Diego, and more. They released their first album, The Monster That Made the Man, in 2012. And tell us all about that album.
Well, the album, that's pretty much just me. I did all of the instruments and wrote all the lyrics except for the one cover tune that we did. And that was basically just an experiment. I knew how to play guitar, I knew how to play drums, I knew how to play bass. Vocals I was a little rough with at the time, but I was like, let's see if I can put an album out. I wanted to prove to myself that I could write and record a complete album by myself. So I did that.
Wow, amazing. Okay. All right. And plus, you also had some others as well, too. You had Fetish, Shadow, Bastard, Fire and Ice, Missing You, The Tower, Speed Freak, Losing Ground, and, of course, a Zager and Evans and song in the year 2525. And, what inspired you to do a cover of that song?
Well, it's funny. Back in probably 2010, for some reason, that song went into my head and got stuck there. And it was one that I'd listened to when I was a kid, and I just decided I had to have it. And so I went all over the internet trying to find it, and I finally found the CD on eBay and bought it. And so when it showed up, I listened to it, and I listened to it, and I listened to it, and I said, I bet I could make a metal version of that song real easy. Mm-hmm. So I did.
Okay, we know something? Let's go ahead and play a little bit of it. In the year 2525 by Revilution right here on the Mike Wagner Show. Do a little bit of it.
35, ain't need to tell the truth, tell no lies. Everything you think you have said is in the pill you took today. In the year 45, ain't need your teeth, won't need your eyes. You won't find nothing to do. Nobody's gonna look at you.
Oh, my goodness. I think we're heading towards reality when I hear that song as well, too. That is just amazing in the year 2525.
Thank you.
That's just something as well, too. And later on as well, too, you also went into Clues for $1 that came out in 2014. Just tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, after the Monster That Made the Man, decided to try to put together a full band so that we could go out and start playing live. We couldn't find good players, you know. I mean, we could find good players, but they weren't a personality fit, or they had too much other stuff going on, you know. A lot of people in Southern California are in multiple bands, and it takes up a lot of their time. So after a few tries at that, it just was kind of taking my legs out from under me. So I said, well, let's just go back in and record another album. Let's see if we can do a better job the second time around. So so we went in and started writing and recording, and that one came out a lot better. I'm really proud of it.
Oh, good. Okay, and where can we find your music?
You can find our music on excuse me, on Spotify. You can find us at our website, www.revilution.com, and we're also on Facebook and Reverb Nation.
Okay, that's fantastic. We'll repeat that at the end of the program. The single Time For Me, it's out on Spotify and other streaming outlets as well, too. Tell us about all about how you came to write the song Time For Me and what's it about and what inspired you to write it.
Well, Time For Me, like everything else, it just started out noodling around on guitar till I came up with kind of a riff that I liked. You know, it sounded kind of neat, and I said, let's flesh it out. And then I always write the music first and then listen to it a bunch of times to kind of see what the music tells me the lyrics should be about. And the lyrics that started coming to me were about my trip from the little small town in Colorado out here to California.
Mm-hmm.
So it just kind of fleshed out into that. I had been in a cover band up in Colorado, and I was a drummer there, and the vocalist was kind of a megalomaniac. So I never really felt like I was being heard. You know, I had a lot of ideas that no one would ever listen to, and so that kind of worked its way into the lyrics a little bit. You know, So it's about, you know, my time for me to do my thing now.
It almost sounds like with some of the songs you have, the theme is more like, you know, based on your travels, Idaho to Colorado to California and everything in between.
Well, I write what I know, situations that I've been in, you know, my marriages and divorces, and I don't even want to go into that. But I mean,
that's understood. I'm not going to ask you that. That's understood.
But yeah, everything that I write comes from some kind of experience that I've had in my life, because I feel like the best way to get a person's attention is telling the truth. So that's what I do.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's great, too. And we'll talk about what's coming up in 2020 for you and how they can find you. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with Dan Seitz from the Southern California group Revilution. We talked about their albums as well as a couple of singles. And also, I forgot to ask this question as well, too. And you were recording songs with Marie B. You guys hooked up and everything to write music. How'd you guys first meet?
That cover band I was in Colorado, I remained friends with the guitar player from that band. Obviously, he stayed in Colorado when I moved to Arizona, but, you know, we were still communicating. He's also a massage therapist, and Marie B. was one of his clients.
Oh, wow.
She was going through some personal stuff of her own at the time, and so he gave her my phone number and let me know that she was going to be contacting me, and so it just started from there.
That was amazing, too. And any plans of her getting involved with writing the lyrics and music?
Well, she doesn't usually write direct, you know, lyrics that can be sang as is, but she comes up with a lot of the ideas that I will take and turn around and turn them into songs. Songs like Girl Stuff, which is a more recent one, that was basically taken from a bunch of notes that she had written. I just turned it into a song for her. And there's quite a few that were like that. She had some influence in Speed Freak, quite a few of them, actually.
Wow, that is amazing. And any plans for a new release in 2020, like an EP, an LP, CD, or singles, or anything like that in 2020?
Well, we were going to go into a studio and record an album, but some things have kind of gotten in the way of that, so we're going to go do some more performing. But we think that we can get into the studio and at least record a couple of songs to release as singles. Mm-hmm. So we're looking into doing that right now.
And of course, you talked about going on tour as well, too. And, where will we be touring in 2020? Where can we find you on the road?
For the most part, we'll probably be around L.A. Really hope to hit Vegas again and, maybe a few parts a little further north and east. We played a lot of the places in L.A. and stuff, and that's great. There's quite a few we'd like to go back to, but I'd like to see some new stuff, too, so hopefully we can branch out even further this time around.
How about the Whiskey A Go-Go in L.A., too? It's just like you have to play there.
I want another chance at that. We did it one time last year, but it was really, really hectic. We didn't really know how they did things. They have to go through all your gear to make sure you're not bringing any weapons into the club, and we didn't know that. So
that makes sense.
They wind up cutting our stage time a little bit because of how long it took us to get in and get set up. So I'd like another chance at that. It was a lot of fun, but I want to do better. So hopefully we'll get in there again.
But, of course, you learned your lesson at least to bring fireworks like what Great White did, back a long time ago, set off fireworks and killing 100 people. So, just be thankful
horrible.
for that. So, yes. So, just everybody, if you're in a band, don't bring fireworks and don't bring weapons. I mean, you guys all learned that, I'm sure, too. So,
absolutely.
All right, great. Okay, and also we have talked about what's coming up in 2020 and everything else. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence in my career, I would have to say Paul Stanley. Even though there's a lot of other bands that I listen to, probably more than Kiss nowadays, Paul Stanley was one of the big ones, from the time I was 10 years old, it's always been, his vocals and his playing and stuff that's always been something I have aspired to reach. When I'm trying to figure out how to sing a song, I think, how would Paul Stanley sing it? I don't do as well as he does, but it gets me in the ballpark, Mm-hmm. And so that's, I would say he's the biggest influence I have.
That sounds great. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Don't ever give up. You have not failed until you give up.
That's very true as well, too. And Dan, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to hearing him again soon. Once again, Dan Seitz from Revilution, up-and-coming band from Southern California. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, and where can people purchase or listen to music?
Okay, well, we'll start with the website, www.revilution.com. You can buy downloads, you can buy physical media, you can see our music videos and photos, and you can email us there and we will email you back. You can reach us at Facebook, and you can hear us on Spotify, and is iTunes still a thing? We were on iTunes.
Mm-hmm. iTunes is still around. I use that.
Okay, good. Okay, and as far as what we've got coming this following year, at least 2 singles are going to be recorded and released, and we're going to be playing anywhere that will take us, and just continue to climb the ladder from there.
Sounds great. Dan, just want to say a big thank you for your time. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep this up to date. We'd love to have you back.
Thank you, Mike. I'd love to be back.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.